Good morning. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? Morning, Zach. Morning, New Abyss. Morning, Trina. Morning, BM. BH. PM, sorry. Welcome, welcome. Howdy. Thank you, I'll try. Sandy's ready to lose it all today. Let's go, everyone. Long weekend. How was everyone's long weekend? I didn't have any time off. Today is actually my 50th day in a row of working at least 9 hours a day. 50 days in a row. Gotta do it, I suppose. I might just try to do a whole year. Haven't decided yet. I'm doing pretty good. Look at this. AMC is jumping up right before open. It was just at 5% up like 2 minutes ago. Simon Property Group's pretty interesting. I'd have to take a look at their debt because obviously they were hurt in the pandemic. But, I mean, real estate I don't think in the long term is going to go away. Yeah, no sparkling coffee today. I need to pick up another pack. I actually haven't been to the grocery store in like 3 or 4 weeks, so that's part of the problem. Don't worry, I'm down on my AMC too. Let me see what it's at. I'm like $1,500 down or something. I've mentally written it off. Oh, so I have a brokerage account now where I have a trading account that I'm only going to use for live streams. I'm going to add $100 every single day that I stream, and we're going to do a vote as to what we want to invest that $100 in every day, and then every 10,000 subscribers, I'm going to add another $1,000. So things are coming together here on the stream end. Oh, thanks, Brian. Remind us how to subscribe. There's just that red subscribe button. Should be next to my username. And also feel free to join as well. A lot of you have joined. It's been pretty awesome. I was kind of surprised how many people joined. But yeah, AMC. Yeah, I'm down $1,500 on AMC. What's up with AMC? We'll see today. I mean, we might have a rocket of a day here. GameStop's pretty flat. I just know a lot of people are still holding on to their AMC, so that helps push things up, push the price up, just because the supply isn't there. But look at this. Over $6 in price on opening. Thanks for the info on Simon Property Group. The next ratio I'd want to look at for Simon Property Group would be income to asset ratio and income to equity ratio. Compare that to their competitors. How's my speaking volume, by the way? Am I like way too loud? I feel like I might be. It's good? Okay, cool. Still getting used to all this new equipment. You probably can't tell, but like all my equipment is brand new. I had to get a whole bunch of new stuff to get this streaming setup dialed in. I'm almost there. Yeah, this is a Weeble. It's a little loud. Okay. That should be better on the volume. Yeah, it's a fair point about AMC comparing just even the price of an awesome TV to 10 years ago. I remember, like, I guess it was probably 10 years ago. My parents, my parents were like, "We're gonna get a 50-inch TV as soon as the price goes below $1,000." And there was like one of those deals where the it was like a store model one, that was like sitting up as the display model, and it was like $980, and they're like, "Oh, that's the best deal ever. Let me get that." And now a 50-inch TV is what, like $300 or something. I'm excited to see what happens with TLRY today. Be nice to have them bump up a little bit. I bought that just a little bit too early, I think, because I bought it at $39. I was already down 40% when I bought it. Hey, John. Good morning. I can add that here. There's Canoe Incorporated. Yeah, which pot stock is actually a good long-term investment, if any? I'm still kind of on the search to figure that out. I did that analysis of Sundial the other day, which if you want to watch that, I have it linked in the description. I just need to do more breakdowns because so far none of them have absolutely wowed me in terms of price and ability to take off. But obviously there's going to be one that's the best bet. I just haven't found it quite yet. I mean, I have some shares of TLRY, but that's mostly because they're poised to, at least after the merger, be the biggest cannabis company. But this was mostly because they're big and the price dropped so much that I, stepped in on my investment on TLRY. So I still have further research to do. Let's check out I've heard a little bit about High Tide. I'll have to dig into them a little bit more. I plan on doing more research on this because it's so poppin' right now, and try and figure out which one is the absolute best. It's a tall order to analyze all these companies. That Sundial analysis I did took me like 6 hours on Sunday, so it's just purely a time issue. There was one Canadian pot stock that actually had profits So I might look into that one. A big jump in sales revenue. Yeah, so I'll have to look into this one a little bit more. We're almost at opening here in about a minute. How often do I go live? I've been going live several times a week. So it all really depends on, popularity. If the lives are popping, then I'm willing to spend, some more time on it. But I enjoy doing it. What's a good entry point for Sundial? If it went down like 60%, I might jump in. It's just so overvalued right now, in my opinion. Let me put CCIV on the list. That's one that I've been thinking about doing like a real deep dive analysis of. And we are open. Okay, we got some selling going on right away for AMC. Not totally surprised about that. Same thing with TLRY possibly. Maybe that might convert over to buys. Okay, here we go. We're jumping up a little bit. Look at that, almost at shooting up to just about 9%. We'll see what happens with AMC. All those gains might just be wiped away in 2 minutes. We might just go to the moon. We might go straight back down to Earth. We'll just check this out for a few minutes right on open since it's always so chaotic. I do most of my trading either on Webull or on Schwab. However, the streaming account that I made is actually Robinhood, just because I know a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of Robinhood, but they let you do fractional shares and their UI is pretty good. So I didn't have a better option in the short term to get one set up for the streams here. I've 4 screens right now. Maybe I'll do a behind the scenes of my live streaming setup. I'll post a picture for the community members so you can see all the chaos that it looks very simple from what's in frame, but it's a little more chaotic from my point of view. Okay, we might have seen this little sell-off there now that it hit $6 for AMC. It's floating right around $6. Obviously, that's going to be a resistance point, any flat dollar amount. What company should I do a real deep dive analysis on next. Maybe I'll have to do a poll for it, but if you have any suggestions, feel free to let me know. Let me add this to the list. We'll go through some companies in just a little while here. This one looks interesting. I like the companies that are, oh, welcome Samantha. I like the companies that offer staples personally, you know. Anything that is needed in society, I just personally like, because they tend to be more simple businesses and harder for some huge disruption to take them away. Oh, Bitcoin broke 50K. Did it? Did it pop over and then go back down? Hard to even tell on this graph. Looks like it might have. I mean, if not, it was really close. This graph is too small to really see. If not, it was about as close as possible. I'm not sure which trading platforms are available in Europe. I mean, if you have Webull, Schwab, those are pretty good. Fidelity's pretty good. How are Riot and Bitcoin related? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. Is that a stock, or are you just riots in general? Might need some clarification. TLRY up almost 10%. I'm still not even close to breaking even at what I bought in at 39. But maybe by the end of the day, we might see this thing shoot up again. Oh, I guess Fidelity lets you do fractional shares as well. So maybe I'll switch my my brokerage for my streaming over to something like Fidelity later on. For now, I'm just going to use Robinhood though. What do I think of Virgin Galactic? Is it over or undervalued? I mean, it's almost impossible to say if something is over or undervalued without any earnings, or really, they don't really have any sales either. So, you know, it's hard with an industry like that, or really any industry. It's hard to know where any individual company is actually at unless you're an expert in the fundamentals of that industry. I'm not necessarily an expert in the space industry, but I mean, let's pull it up here. So they get a market cap of $12 billion. So the question you want to ask yourself is, within a reasonable amount of time, can they make that market cap worth what it's at? So a $12 billion market cap, like, is it reasonably possible for them to get even $500 million in earnings? And how much in sales would they need for $500 million in earnings? Probably $20 billion in revenue. So if I was seriously considering investing in Virgin Galactic, my thought would be, within 5-10 years, are they going to be able to get this up to $20 billion in revenue? And then if you do your diligence and you find the answer to that is yes, then it's probably worth jumping in on it. Because in the short run, earnings don't matter. As we can see, you can make a lot of money in the short run on an investment just because other people are buying into it. But if you're trying to hold something long term, the real questions you want to ask are, can this thing earn money, earn income to the level that the price reflects? So AMC's holding right around that 5% increase mark. The $6 mark is going to be hard to, I think, blow past. What do I think the value of Bitcoin will be in 5 years? That's an interesting question. I think there's got to be some form of correction still in the way, but I don't think any correction with Bitcoin now is going to go back down to like $3,000 or anything like that. I think if we see another correction, maybe we see it go down to 25,000, and then 5 years. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it was between 150,000 and 250,000 in 5 years. All right, let's jump into some of these stocks we have up to take a look at. So we got Churchill Capital Corporation. $1.6 billion with 6 7/7. Take that off for a bit. Let's see here. Former Citigroup executive Michael Klein is becoming one of the most well-known names in the SPAC world. Last week, the dealmaker launched 2 additional SPACs under Churchill Capital umbrella. Okay, $480 million for 5 and 1.2 billion, or no, for 6 and 1.2 billion for 7. Okay. When the news emerged in December that Churchill Capital Corporation, for a blank check company with no assets beyond its $2 billion in cash, had made an offer to acquire DirecTV, its stock barely moved. After a report in January that Churchill was in talks to merge with the buzzy electric vehicle startup Lucid Motors, it was a different story. Speculation about the possible combination spread on Reddit and other social media platforms, fueled by Tesla Incorporation's surge and a bet on a post-gasoline future. Traders sought additional information online and pointed to myriad bits of information to infer a deal was imminent. The online discussion prompted a trader to drive to an airport to photograph a jet that other traders conjectured was connected to the deal. The stock has surged more than 220% since the report last month, biggest ever stock increase of a special purpose acquisition company before announcing a merger, according to SPACinsider.com. Well, it looks like there is not a deal yet. Share price has risen significantly since the start of 2021, jumping from $10 to nearly $40. Yet this jump in CCIV stock is quite significant even in the SPAC space. I'm not seeing a deal actually being made. Often the success in share price depends on who the management team is. There are clear risks to be outlined before putting your money into CCIV stock. As mentioned, there is currently no deal in place between the two companies, and we know that this rumor is the main catalyst of the share price increase. The thing about deals is most of them don't go through. So, of course, that's always concerning to me. I, of course, don't want to be a naysayer. So I would put this in the 100% speculative bucket. You know, if you wanted to make an investment in it, I would say this should not be the majority of your portfolio. Of course, this isn't financial advice. You can do whatever you want. But for my personal investment, something like this would be, 1 or 2% of my portfolio would go towards investments like this. It's like a double long shot. You're investing in this company that you're hoping makes a deal with another company. So that's one long shot. Deals are hard to make and come together, two different entities. And then you're also betting that Lucid Motors turns into a profitable, successful company. So there's definitely a ton of risk here. All right, Energy Fuels Incorporated. Yeah, hit that like button if you're just jumping into this stream. That way we can boost this thing in the algorithm to some more people. I'd appreciate it very much. Let's see here. Energy Fuels Incorporated. Is there any news? Thank you to everyone liking the stream. I appreciate that. Looking for news. Let's see. Not seeing a whole lot in way of news. So let's look at the finances. Market cap of $773 million. Revenue per employee is pretty low. Declining sales is never a good sign. So some major digging would need to be done as to what's going on here, and declining for such a long period of time. You know, if it was like a quarter-to-quarter decline, excuse me, could potentially not be too scary, but a 5-year decline, that's definitely concerning. Do we ever have income? Let's see. No, we never had income. Wonder if I can find leading producer of uranium and vanadium. Let's see, news releases. Don't see a whole lot going on here. Let's check out their investor presentation. Proven track record of sustained U.S. uranium market leadership. Capacity to significantly increase uranium production from industry-leading production and resource base. 3 facilities. Why they're one of a kind. The only conventional uranium and vanadium, I don't know if I'm saying that right, processing facility in the U.S. So I wonder, is there just not very much demand for uranium because their sales are pretty small, and if they're making up 10%, it might just be a small industry. Okay, so they're entering rare earth to complement, to kind of have a synergistic complement to their uranium business. Yeah, I'm not really wowed by this this company. I'd have to check into like what the uranium market in the United States even is, because they have very small sales and they're saying it's 10% of the total market. AMC still floating around that 5% mark. I wonder if we're just going to see that all day. TLRY, 7%. I think the music probably need a new playlist here. Let's see. No problem, Fonz. There we go. All right. Let's check out another. Actually, let's look at some of these news articles that I have pulled. This article says, forget Sundial and AMC, these stocks can make you rich. So we'll see what they have to say about that. Last year, it was the coronavirus disease 2019 crash, which wiped 34% off the benchmark S&P 500 in under 5 weeks. Meanwhile, in 2021, the historic battle between retail investors and big money institutional investors. So they say investors should ditch Sundial growers and AMC Entertainment. Over the past 3 weeks, retail investors on Reddit's WallStreetBets chat room have been banding together to buy shares and out-of-the-money call options on a small subset of stocks. Yeah, we all know that. Let's see. These stocks can make investors rich. They're saying Pinterest. I've heard a lot about Pinterest recently. Shares are up nearly 260% over the trailing year. This social media company is still in the early inning of its growth phase and has potential to be in a 10-bagger over the next 10 years. Prior to the pandemic, Pinterest's monthly active user count was growing by an average of 30% annually between 2017 and 2019. This growth accelerated to 37% last year, which is likely a function of people being stuck in their homes in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. But no matter where you look at Pinterest's monthly active user data, the crystal clear conclusion is that it's becoming more popular with each passing quarter. What gives Pinterest such robust sales growth potential is its focus on international markets. Of the 124 million net new monthly active users gained in 2020, 114 million came from outside the US. Interesting. Though the average revenue per user outside the US, 88 cents, is only a fraction of what it is in the US, $15.34. Interesting. Yeah, ad rates outside the US are always really low compared to the US. Also, don't overlook just how perfect a platform Pinterest is for e-commerce. Rather than having to extract information out of its users, Pinterest's monthly active users willingly post about the things, places, and services they like. This makes it incredibly easy for small businesses to target these users. As the medium, all Pinterest has to do is keep the user base engaged and ensure that small businesses have tools that they need to be successful. Now, that's pretty interesting. I could see some potential there. Green Thumb Industries. Okay, so I haven't really heard much about this company. So Green Thumb's success comes from a variety of factors. For starters, the company is relatively selective in the market it's chosen to operate. Currently has 52 operating dispensaries in legalized states with the ability to open as many as 96 retail locations in a dozen states. What stands out is the company's focus on states like Illinois, Nevada, and New Jersey, the latter of which legalized recreational pot in the November election. Illinois, for instance, is a limited license state. Only a set number of retail locations will be allowed, with the land of Lincoln reaching $1 billion in weed sales in the first year following the legalization of adult-use pot. Green Thumb generates around 2/3 of its revenue from derivatives, including edibles, beverages, vapes, topicals, and concentrates. Derivatives offer substantially higher margin than dried cannabis flower, which is a big reason Green Thumb is turning the corner to profitability before many of its peers. So that's one that I'm definitely going to look into a little bit more. Fastly. It's a company that's benefited handsomely from the COVID-19 pandemic. With businesses pushing online and into the cloud, it's seen traffic on its network increase. Fastly is responsible for safely and securely expediting the delivery of content to end users. Interestingly, it's not always been smooth sailing for the company. In October, Fastly's third quarter sales update roiled Wall Street. The company modestly lowered its forecast after ByteDance, the parent of TikTok, pulled most of its traffic from Fastly's network. During the first half of 2020, TikTok was Fastly's leading revenue generator, about 12% of their total sales. Yet when Fastly reported its third quarter operating results, you'd hardly know that TikTok traffic was significantly reduced. Total sales jumped 42% from the prior year period, and more importantly, we saw a dollar-based net expansion rate of 147%. In layman's terms, this means that the company's existing clients spent 40% more in the September ended quarter than they did the previous year. Okay. You know what? These all do seem reasonable, just at least on face value. I'm going to look more into this Green Thumb GTFIB. Word unscramble. Oh, was it BIF? Maybe, oh yeah, it was GTBIF. So it's got a big old market cap. They were saying they're close to profitability. But how close? Sales have been just jumping up. That's always good to see. Let me see the most recent quarter, because that was not, I wouldn't consider that close. Even quarterly growth is on a crazy trend. That's pretty awesome. Wow, they actually had a profitable quarter. Well, there's something. But are they worth, okay, let's say, I mean, they're growing at a very rapid pace. I gotta open a spreadsheet over here. You know it's getting serious when you have to open a spreadsheet. We're gonna dig deep on this one. Oh, Pinterest is in talks with a Microsoft merger. I wouldn't be surprised. It seems like Microsoft wants to buy everything. Okay, so we got, just gonna do a little projection thing here. Okay, so 12.85 million. Just bear with me here for a second. Just trying to kind of project what we might see for quarterly earnings through the next year. % profit. Okay, let me pull this over. So I'm just putting this together. This is the last quarterly sales. These are in millions. Last quarterly profit. And I'm going to make this equal, oops, just knocked my phone off the table, times 6%. We'll scale that over. So this is in the millions. So this is going to be Q1, Q2, Q3. These are just projections, of course, based on their previous sales increases, which are obviously very dramatic sales increases. So this would leave us potential projected earnings in the next year of, you can't see that because I'm in the way, but it's 77.88 million. Based on that, $77 million. So just based on this so I just calculated what a market cap would be based on a PDE of 40, and we get 3.1 billion. We have a market cap of 8.2 or 8.32 billion. So my overall assessment with this Green Thumb Industries, just based on this little fundamental analysis, is if we have one more year of really awesome growth, stellar growth, we're still not really making up for this market cap. However, if this is a buy and hold for 5-10 years kind of investment, we might be looking at a pretty good investment. We're in a situation where, it's like it would have been a lot better to buy in. I mean, let's just take a look at their price. $4. Yeah. If you were able to buy in a year ago, obviously that price is justified now. But a year ago, we didn't have any profits. So I think that this actually could be a good buy if you're willing to hold 5-10 years. It'll, at the very least, pay off what it's currently at with earnings, just based on forecasts. Of course, nothing's guaranteed. But overall, compared to other weed companies that I've taken a look at, this one's one of my favorites so far, just based on this. I'll have to do more digging. But comparing this to Sundial, this knocks the socks off of this Sundial. So much better than Sundial, just based on the little bit that I've looked up so far. That one's definitely interesting. So maybe I'll add that stock on the list of potential to invest stocks today. Yeah, why don't I do that? So I'm updating the stock invest poll today. Just bear with me for 1 second. Okay. Un momento, just enjoy that music while I'm doing this real quick. Maybe pick a stock ticker to take a little look at. And I will be right back in a second. Okay, that one we were just looking at was GTFIB. Okay. I'm putting the poll in the chat. Make sure you vote on this poll so we know what stock to invest in today on the channel. So every day I do a stream, we're going to do a $100 investment into a stock that you vote on. So choose a stock, make a vote on it, and we'll buy it later on today in the stream. Yeah, the vote on Friday was Tyson Foods, so we'll buy that. I guess we could do that right now. Let me just make sure. Yeah. Okay. So we got to do our Friday investment still because the brokerage I had just wasn't working. So we got a $100 Tyson Foods investment we're going to do. Here we go. So we're doing $100 every time I stream. If you want to vote on what I buy, what we buy, there's either the link is in the description, or you can, if you want to scroll up in the chat, it's the same link. And I'll also buy $1,000 worth every 10,000 subscriber milestone. So the next one will be once we hit 170,000 subscribers, I'll buy $1,000 worth of whatever we vote on. So Tyson Foods is one of my favorite stocks right now. I like that this lets you do fractional shares. There we go, purchased. And if you want a Robinhood account too, I have a in the description a link where you can get a free stock with them too. But I know a lot of people don't like Robinhood, so it was just the best platform I could find at a short notice for this kind of thing. But there we go. Let's see portfolio. Well, I guess the cash, the cash shows. But stocks, we got 60. Wait, I'm not super familiar yet with Robinhood. Oh, okay. Oh, we lost 12 cents so far. Nice. All right, anyways, that's the purchase for Friday. You can do a vote for the purchase today. We'll do it later on in the stream. Nokia, I think, is on here somewhere. No, there's BlackBerry. There it is, Nokia. There you go. Nokia is added. Now TLRY back down under 30 bucks. We really just need to see this puppy jump up to 60 bucks or something like that. Okay, we got a lot of people voting on green thumb so far for the stock buy. Interesting. So that might be. Yeah, how's Sundial doing today? Floating right around $2. All right, I want to look a little bit into this Fastly company, FSLY. If there is a if there's a stock you really want me to look into, you can feel free to do a super chat if you absolutely want me to look into it, but otherwise I'll just pick ones that I'm curious about. Fastly stock shrinks. Let's see here. It's down 2% today. Well, maybe it's a good time to buy if it's on the decline. It's had some real ups and downs in the last 6 months. Yeah, I mean, it's still $100. Been at $14 earlier this year. Wow. Okay. What kind of news do we got here? Investors should watch GSAT. Okay, let me write this down. And I'll spend a decent amount of time on this one since you did a larger super chat, but I'm just going to look at this Fastly first. So, like many tech companies, Fastly is currently unprofitable and faces intense competition from larger, more established rivals. Moreover, the stock is up 350% in the last 12 months, driven by the rapid push towards digitization and edge computing. Put simply, Wall Street will be expecting stellar results. But rather than get too caught up in quarterly guidance, investors should focus their attention where it matters most. Here are 2 metrics to watch when Fastly announce earnings on Wednesday, February 17th, which is tomorrow. Interesting. So maybe we want to make a little bet into that one, since earnings are tomorrow. I guess we'll see. Strong customer growth is essential to Fastly's future success. As an unprofitable enterprise, the company needs to scale its operation if it hopes to achieve profitability. So far, the company is moving in the right direction. Over the last 3 years, Fastly has reported reasonably strong growth in total customers and enterprise customers, those spending over $100,000 each year. But it would be nice to see those growth rates accelerate. So, I mean, we're growing. It's not crazy growth. Customer retention. Annual revenue retention provides insight into customer churn, how many customers Fastly's lost during the year. The company reported a retention rate of 98.9% for 2018 and 99.3% for 2019, indicating that Fastly kept virtually all of its customers in that period. That's encouraging. Yeah, that's very encouraging. They ran into trouble with TikTok. Fastly also reports a metric known as the dollar-based expansion rate, which we talked earlier, which is basically the amount each individual customer spends, and that's increasing. So it almost would be good for someone looking to buy into this stock if they had poor quarterly results. So the price jumps down a bit, but I mean, we'll take a look at some more financials here. Yeah, market cap of $11 billion. So they're going to have to get a ton of sales to make up. $200 million in sales in 2019. So we saw a decline in sales in their most recent reported quarter, which ended at the end of September. But it's a decline despite, many months of increase. So it doesn't worry me a whole lot. Like, it still would be their second best quarter, so you can't complain too much. They're not that far in the negatives as far as net income compared to their revenue. So sales-wise, what would they need to be at sales-wise? What's their gross margin? 57%. They're spending a ton on selling, general, and administrative, which probably a lot of it is going just towards their sales force, acquiring new customers. An absolute ton. One good thing about this is their retention rate was so high, so it seems like the customers they acquire, just add that to revenue, add that to revenue. So, we probably would need quarterly sales to double or triple to get profitable, which would put it in the 200 million-ish per quarter range, 800 million per year, which would be a 4x in their last year's revenue. Probably not doable in 1 year, but maybe in 2 to 4 years. This is another one of those that it seems like, obviously it's a bet, but it seems like it's a bet that if you're willing to hold for 4 to 7 years, it will pay off. Especially if we see a situation where, maybe they get some bad press that's not really that bad. We see the price go down 20, 30, 40%. That would be a definite reason to jump in. All right, let's look at this stock. I'm just waiting on more votes for the purchase today. So if you want to vote on what we buy later on in the stream, make a vote. Link is in the description. How long would I hold Tyson for? I'm prepared to hold it for a decade, 2 decades. It's a very long-term hold for me. Pull this back over. I'm just getting some more music playing here. Oh, this is like suspenseful. We'll try it out. What's going on? Oh, AMC is down to just plus 2% for the day. GameStop's down 3%. TLRY is only plus 2% now as well. HCMC up almost 20% for the day. Okay, let's check out this Global Star Incorporated, American satellite communications company that operates a low Earth orbit satellite constellation for satellite phone and low-speed data communications. So it's gone up 266% year to date. It's been downgraded. So it looks like it's been downgraded just because the price has gone up so significantly. Let's see if we can find. Market cap of 4.1 billion. Oh, what is this? Adventurous investors can take a rocket ride with this new space ETF. Oh. This is some intense music we got here. They have a little bit of income. That's always nice to see. Okay, so we have sales revenue increasing just a tiny little margin in 2019. Oh, I wish we had 2020 numbers. Do we have the quarterly? Oh, we do. Perfect. So on a quarter-to-quarter basis, kind of flat in the last year, but not bad. Oh, so they had net income in one quarter, the last quarter of 2019, but no income after that. What kind of debt are we looking at? A ton of long-term debt, $478 million in long-term debt, $558 million in total liabilities. A lot of equity though too, $400 million in equity, 558. Income. Oh wow. Their income to debt ratio is pretty concerning to me. So in 2019, obviously they're a new company and not super profitable yet, but still, despite that, I think it was 558 million in total liabilities, 15 million in profit in 2019. It takes 37 years to pay off their debt at that rate, and they're actually not going to see any profit in 2020, it looks like. That's a pretty concerning debt position to be in. But a lot of this is going to be based off of just company news and things like that because they're not profitable. So let's look a little bit more into some investor news. So do we have investor information? There we go. Presentation. Let's listen to this. Oh, this is fourth quarter 2019. I mean, that's pretty old. It's also old. How old is this? 2016. What's going on here? Alright, this is only like a week old. They announced that Qualcomm Incorporated has included their Globalstar band N53 in its new G5 5G X55 5G X65 modem. The X65 is Qualcomm's flagship 5G modem and adds global 5G band support for N53, with Qualcomm support for the potential device ecosystem expand significantly to include the most popular smartphones, laptops, tablets, automated equipment, and other Internet of Things modules. Okay, so valuable partnership. Some leadership changes. I'm looking for like an investor. Let's see. They're all so old. So it seems to me that the price isn't very justified. The company has potential, but their debt position is really concerning to me. They just have so much debt. It's going to take 50 years to pay off that much debt unless earnings jump by 30, 40x. So I would say if the price were to decline, maybe it'd be a good time to jump in. This one I'm not seeing like if you buy and hold for 5 years, you're probably going to be fine kind of situation. It seems less guaranteed to me. For this one, I kind of feel this might just be a peak, and we're going to see some kind of drop off. And then maybe we see this peak again, years and years down the road, but I'm not seeing it anytime soon. That's just my personal opinion on this one. Again, you might want to do some more additional research if this interests you. This is a little too commercial. There we go. That's a little better. So we have some more tweets here from Ihor Dusanewski from S3 Partners. As far as the short interest for some of these highly shorted stocks. So he's saying shorts are down 74% for the year. If AMC price climbs and therefore the mark-to-market losses accumulate, some shorts will be squeezed out of their trades. Shorts have taken some serious body blows. A strong rally could be a knockout punch for these shorts without deeper pockets. Interesting. So we're in a situation where we have a lot of shorts who, potentially shorted the company when it was still around $3 or so, maybe even in the twos, and the price is still, in the fives, teetering on $6 as of today. And Ihor is saying we're in a situation where if that remains, we might see some upwards price action because shorts will be forced to close their positions and take losses. The mark-to-market losses are just unrealized losses. So if they covered at 300 to 400 when no one else, so this is regarding GameStop, when no one else could buy, wouldn't that make the price increase and explain how you can short something on the way back down? You haven't completely covered your previous short as you are in debt now. Long-term fundamental shorts covering due to losses, newer momentum shorts, shorting to capture possible downside price retracement. Oh, so this is what he was saying in my interview with him, that when the price was really high for GameStop, like 3, 4, I think it was even close to $500 at one point, there was certain institutional shorters who were like, okay, this thing might go to $1,000, let's hop out of this. And what was happening at that time is there just were like no available shares to short. So there was all these other investors who were sitting around waiting to be able to short GameStop because they thought it was going to go back down. So then we had some people hop out at $300, $400. Other people hop in to short at that high price. The price then starts going down. It goes down. You have some of those shorts leave their position to pull out their cash. And then you have some of the original shorts who rode the ride up to 400 and then back down to 200, who then exited their position. And that's when the short interest just started decreasing, when there wasn't as much pressure. Well, let's see what he's got to say about cannabis. Total short interest in the almost 200 US and Canadian cannabis stocks on our portfolio is 4.95 billion. Short selling is highly concentrated. This song isn't doing it for me. Short selling is highly concentrated in a handful of names with short interest at the top 20 most shorted stocks in the sector at 4.68 billion, 98% of the total. Short interest in our portfolio has increased by 1.81 billion over the last 30 days and 1.23 billion as the sector has rallied strongly. Canopy Growth Corp continues to be the largest short in the sector, but TLRY Incorporated has closed the gap significantly. What's the most shorted? So they're highly shorted, but they're not like the most shorted in all of the stock market right now. There's TLRY. So TLRY is more than 20%. I'm not sure if 22% short interest is enough to really do a squeeze, though. This is like video game music or something. Oh, there you go. Someone says. TLRY bumped up a little bit in the last short period. This is good stock trading music. This song. I wonder if I can like add a playlist here. Oh, there we go. Not sure I like that song. This one seems pretty good. Welcome, Wolf, to the channel. I appreciate you becoming a member. All right, let's see what's going on with Riot stock. Up 21% today. This one's a vibe. Wow. I'm pretty sure we looked at this one last week. I swear every stock that's going up, Motley Fool has an article that says you shouldn't invest in that thing. Like every time we're looking at a stock that's up like 20% in a day, 10% in a day, think this is the one we were looking at last week. So, has announced that it will achieve an estimated hash rate capacity of 1.06 exahash per second with the deployment of the newly received 2002 S19 Pro Ant miners. It's a major milestone for the company. The 2002 S19 Pro Ant miners were received in connection with the purchase order from Bitmain as previously disclosed in August 2020, with installation expected to be completed over the next week. With the deployment of these 2002 miners, Riot will have a total of 11,542 Ant miners in operation. Riot's hash rate capacity will reach an estimated 1.06 exahash per second, representing a nearly 26% increase over its prior operational hash rate capacity. So one thing that's interesting about this is the price, they become more valuable both if the price of Bitcoin goes up and once they have the asset there and paid for, then they're just paying for electricity for it to do its thing. So once they pay off their assets, then they're making more money as well. They don't make the miner machines, they just mine. So like all of us watching right now, we could get together, buy a bunch of these miner machines and do what they're doing. There's a couple extra steps involved, but you get what I'm saying. $3 billion market cap. Yeah, their sales are only $6 million. So you know what? Us 400 on this stream right now, we could probably make this happen. $7 million in sales is not that much. Check out their quarterly sales. Increasing, up and down, but increasing. I mean, if we base things off of their last quarter, you know, they're looking at a $10 million year next year, which is a 30% increase. How much assets do we have? Come on, balance sheet. $40 million in assets. That's a lot of miners. Do they have any cash on hand? 30 million in cash. Why don't they just buy some more? Barely any liabilities. That's actually a pretty good sign. Total liabilities just shy of 2 million. They could pay off all their liabilities with cash right now and barely make a dent. Oh, this is the most bought and sold stocks on Fidelity. This would have been close on Friday. Sundial number 1. I wonder if Sundial will be number 1 again today. Maybe I should do an analysis on HCMC. But I already kind of know what we're going to find there. Maybe I should do TLRY instead. I kind of like this song. This feels like a song to trade to. Make sure you smash that like button on this stream, by the way, if you're just jumping in. And subscribe if you haven't already. We're doing stock streams all the time. I don't think the hoodie is only in white for as far as my merch goes. Let me double check. I think it comes in multiple colors. Let's see. Now the hoodie comes in white, black, and gray. That gray looks pretty sleek. But 3 colors. T-shirt comes in a whole bunch of colors. These things are comfortable too. Oh, you got it? Enjoy that sweatshirt. Yeah, APHA stock's going to turn into TLRY once the deal goes through. I'm still kind of concerned, about the deal going through. It's not a done deal, so that's something just to remember. All right, we need some more music. These playlists are too short. We'll go with some piano. As we are we're classy in this stream. Listen to some classical piano. All right, let's check out this one I just saw in the chat. .NET Nuke. I have not heard of this one. Is this a... web content management system and web application? Market cap of $741 million. $15 million in revenue, net income of negative $18 million. Let me go back to the profile, see exactly what they do. Engages in the exploration and development of uranium. Oh, another uranium company. It has interest in the McLean Lake uranium mill. Zone and Husky deposits on the Waterbury Lake property. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why uranium is so popular right now. The uranium ore market expected to reach a value of nearly $10 billion by 2022. So how did that last company have 10% of the market but only 6 million in sales? Riddle me that. Or it was 10% of the US market, that's what it is. The global uranium mining market is anticipated to rise at a considerable rate during the forecast period between 2020 and 2026. Never knew this was such a hot sector. Anyways, we got a 5-year sales trend on this company that's pretty darn flat. Flat and kind of decreasing. Identical sales 2018, 2019. You don't really see that very often. Yeah, the decreasing sales is always concerning. Yeah, I'm not a... Just based on the surface level of this, I'm not a big fan of the DNN. Yeah, I'm digging the piano. I need some more coffee in me. Oh, get the energy flowing here. Oh, we got some changes in the poll here as far as which stock to buy. So if you want to be involved on which stock we buy today, use that poll linked in the description. I can shoot it in the chat again too. But we might see a change up here. I just sent in the chat the poll for which stock we buy later on in the stream. Someone just said there's some sundial news. Let's check that out. Sundial and Nvidia Indiva? Not Nvidia. Indiva? I don't know how to say that. $22 million strategic investment. So here we go. This is what I was... oh, welcome, AJ Mary. Welcome to the channel. Thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate you. So this is what I was saying about Sundial. Hoping the management does some kind of roll-ups with all the additional access to cash they now have with their extremely high market cap. It looks like We got some kind of $22 million strategic investment. Sundial Growers. So they just place an investment into Indiva. The investment will be completed in the form of a brokered private placement. The placement led by ATB Capital Markets of 25 million common shares of Indiva. The common shares at a price of 44 cents per common share to raise gross proceeds of 11 million and a non-revolving term loan facility to Indiva in the principal amount of $11 million, the term loan. It's anticipated that Sundial will be the sole subscriber in the placement. Proceeds to Indiva net of fees, commissions, and expenses are expected to be approximately $20.9 million. They're going to use those proceeds to pay for all of its outstanding debt, Indiva that is. So we're delighted to welcome Sundial as strategic investor in Indiva, said Neil Marotta, President and Chief Executive Officer. The capital from this $22 million investment significantly improves Indiva's balance sheet, expands our working capital, and provides the resources necessary to support strong growth in our business. I don't know if it's Indiva or Indivia, will now have the ability to make the additional capital investments primarily into automation, which will drive higher throughput and profitability, while ensuring our product quality maintains the best-in-class standard our customers and clients depend on. Indiva's bolstered financial strength will ensure we can defend our market share position as a top edibles producer in Canada and continue to bring new and innovative cannabis products to of-age Canadians. Now, is Sundial's price jumping up in reaction to this? Let's see. Where do we have Sundial? No, it's not. It's kind of interesting. It's still down for the day. This news was 2 hours ago. See, that's kind of what concerns me about what's going on in the stock market right now, because there's this strategic investment announced in, basically they made a significant investment in a competitor of some form, but the stock price doesn't react. This will, let's look at this company stock, Indiva. Is it a public company? It might not be a public company. Oh yeah, it is. So they have a market cap of 56 million. I think it said they bought 25 million shares. So they bought about a 20%-ish, just over 20% of the entire company, which equates to okay, so their sales are increasing dramatically, but we could probably expect sales next year to be in the 15-ish million range. So they bought 25% of that. So we're looking at 3 to 4 million in additional revenue and fees on top of Sundial's current revenue, which really only bumps things up by about 8% or so. So I guess it's not the most significant thing ever, but to have the stock price not react whatsoever is, of course, kind of nutty as well. Thoughts on NNDM? Oh, when's my next day off? That's a good question. I said earlier, today is my 50th day in a row. So I don't know. I might just see how many days I can go before losing my mind. I feel fine though. Nano Dimension Limited. Nano Dimension Ltd. to announce that it has entered into definitive agreements with investors for a sale of 39 million of the company's American Depository shares at $12 per share. $500 million in gross proceeds. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Well, let's see. I want to see that investor presentation. There we go. 3D printed electronics. Additively manufactured electronics. That's pretty cool. Let's look at their financials. $3 billion market cap. Sales trend is jumping upwards, but $7 million in sales. I mean, it's a promising industry, I imagine, but quarterly sales going down dramatically. That's a big concern. This one seems like a big risk to me. I think the concept is cool. Cash. I mean, their liabilities aren't crazy. They could pretty much pay off their liabilities with cash on hand. So that limits the risk a little bit. But the decreasing sales is what's really concerning to me. Do I think today's going to fizzle for all stocks? I don't know. I mean, it hasn't been too exciting so far. You know, we can see everything. HCMC is doing pretty good. This Finvolution group is doing pretty good. But yeah, it seems fairly flat. It might just be a boring day. So let's check out this poll and make a little purchase. Okay, so the purchase of the day here on the channel that we're doing. We did a poll in the chat. We're going to do a $100 investment on each stream. The purchase of the day is this Green Thumb company, 36% of votes. So hopefully I can buy that on Robinhood, BTFIB. Oh, I can't. I can't buy this on Robinhood. So I guess I'm gonna have to, I need to make sure of this before I do a poll, I suppose. So I guess I'm gonna have to go to the second option, which is Tesla. Tesla's down 1.6% today, so it's probably a good day to buy it. Buying $100 worth. Oh geez, I have to answer some questions. All right, let me do this on the other screen real quick. It's making me answer a whole bunch of questions here. All right, now I can buy this. All right, we're going to do a $100 purchase of Tesla stock per the wrong. Okay, let me just try the other GT. No. Let me just double check. GTBIF. Yeah, no, you can't buy it on Robinhood for some reason. So I'm going to do Tesla. There we go. And the order has been confirmed. Cool. There's our purchase for the day. Yeah, Sundial is just flat for the day. I mean, it's better than it losing money, but it's just weird with that good news announcement. AMC fairly flat too. Everything's just kind of flat and somewhat boring today. There are 3 different green thumbs. The stock symbol is incorrect for any of them. Let me see. GTBIF, Green Thumb Industries. Is that a different? No, that's the right one. Branded cannabis product. This is the one that I was trying to do. Well, you just can't. There's just certain companies you can't buy on Robinhood. Yeah, I can't buy OTC stocks. Yep. Let's check out Luck. It's a good ticker name. It doesn't look like it's doing too good today. Yeah, Green Thumb is on the OTC market, and you can't do that on Robinhood. I'm pretty sure you can on Schwab, and I'm sure many other brokerages, but welcome everyone joining. Make sure you like the stream if you enjoy what we got going on here. If there's a company you want me to take a look at, just let me know in the chat. Yeah, OTC is like Wolf of Wall Street kind of stuff. Real Luck Group. Let's see. Let's check out this Bitcoin $50,000 news. Thank you, Arc of War. I appreciate that. Bitcoin surpasses $50,000 for the first time as major companies jump into crypto. Bitcoin surged to an all-time high of more than $50,000 on Tuesday. Large firms like Tesla, MasterCard, BNY Mellon have shown support for cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin's price broke above $50,000 for the first time in history. The world's largest digital currency has a market value rose more than 3% to an all-time high of $50,487 at 7:30 this morning Eastern. Oh, MasterCard bought some. Oh, so MasterCard says it's going to open up its network to some digital currencies. We'll take a look at that in a second. and BNY Mellon have made big moves to support crypto. Tesla's use of corporate cash to buy Bitcoin sparked speculation over whether other major companies would follow suit. Uber CEO Dara, I don't know how to say the last name, told CNBC last week that the company had discussed but quickly dismissed the idea of buying Bitcoin. But it is considering whether to accept cryptocurrencies as payment. Oh, that's interesting. These developments have led many crypto investors to believe the latest bull run is different than past rallies. Bitcoin skyrocketed to nearly $20,000 in late 2017 before losing more than 80% of its value the following year. Bitcoin believers say that whereas the 2017 bubble was driven by retail speculation, the current cycle is being fueled by demand from institutional investors. Yeah, I mean, the thing about an institutional investor is more likely just to park the money there, let her sit. I think starting in March of 2020, you saw your institutions start to arrive, and I think in 2021 you're going to see that trend continue. They're enthusiasts for Bitcoin as a medium for exchange, but I personally believe that the compelling use is for a store of value. I mean, that's what it's for. So in the long term, hopefully it's not volatile at all, and it can just be a store of value. MicroStrategy has seen its share price climb more than sevenfold since it first bought Bitcoin in August. The company announced Tuesday that it will offer $60 million in convertible bonds to buy more Bitcoin, $600 million. There's also been speculation that MicroStrategy offered a blueprint for Tesla's Bitcoin purchase. Yeah, there's some tweets back and forth about that. Economists like Nouriel Roubini say that Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies have no intrinsic value. I mean, neither does cash. So, it's called fiat currency. All right. MasterCard to open up network to select cryptocurrencies. The credit card giant's announcements came days after Elon Musk Tesla revealed that they had purchased $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. MasterCard said on Wednesday it's planning to offer support for some cryptocurrencies on its network this year, joining a string of big ticket firms that have pledged similar support. The credit card giant's announcement comes days after Elon Musk Tesla revealed it had purchased $1.5 billion of Bitcoin and would soon accept it as a form of payment. MasterCard already offers customers cards that allow people to transact using their cryptocurrencies, although without going through its network. Doing this work will create a lot more possibilities for shoppers and merchants, allowing them to transact in an entirely new form of payment. This change may open merchants up to new customers who are already flocking to digital assets. Now, I wonder what the fees will be here. Like, if this is cheaper than credit cards, I would start accepting crypto today with my company. It's like 3.9% or something after all fees with the credit card. So there you go. That's pretty interesting. All right. 5 Robinhood stocks to buy and hold forever. Let's see what this is. Starbucks. Starbucks is the world's largest coffee purveyor. The company has been profitable every year since going public, including 2020 and all the challenges the pandemic created that year. Second in almost 30 years as a public company, same-store sales have increased in all but 3 years. That's interesting. PayPal, I'm just not personally a fan of PayPal as a company. I feel like they do shady stuff. So even if their financials are good, I personally wouldn't buy into PayPal just because I don't like them very much. Walmart, I don't think an e-commerce operation would disrupt it. Consider that while Amazon's revenue is up more than 900% over the past decade, Walmart's revenue has modestly increased during that time too. In other words, Amazon was never the Walmart killer some assumed it would be. Walmart survived the e-commerce revolution and should continue chugging along. Disney. I think Disney still down from... Are they still down from the year? No, they're not. They hit 90, 85 bucks-ish. Oh no, they've made it out of that hole. Yeah, they had some good results with the Disney Plus numbers. Disney paid subscription streaming service to incredible heights in record time. Before launch, management hoped to have 60 million to 90 million subscribers by 2024. It's already surpassed that in just 1 year with 95 million as of the first quarter of 2021. Wow. That's crazy. I feel like I don't know anyone who has Disney Plus, though. Airbnb. Yeah, it's always good when a company's name is like synonymous with that thing, you know, like Kleenex. So Airbnb. Is Airbnb profitable these days? No, still not profitable. That's pretty wild. Have they had a profitable quarter? Oh, they did. They've had a couple. Their last quarter, they were profitable. And sales were very high. I guess compared to the pandemic, you can't judge too much for that. Thoughts on ZKIN? Let's check that out. Let's see here. What do they do? What do they do? You know, if I do these streams enough, I'm going to be familiar with every single company that's publicly traded. Maybe after a year of doing it. Oh, let me get some more music here. I was kind of digging the piano vibe, so let's do some more piano. Manufacturing, research and development and sale of stainless steel pipes and carbon steel pipe products. It's products include steel pipe, steel band, copper strip, welded stainless steel pipes and fittings. Okay. Need some water. Let's check into the financials here. 5-year sales trend, it looks excellent. Sales growth looks excellent. Interest expense is fairly small, which is of course good. Net income, you know, I always like to see a company with some actual net income whenever they, you know, so many of these companies are just like negative, and it's so hard to do any valuation on a negative income unless you're an absolute expert in an industry. Yeah, I added a whole bunch of new member emojis, so if you're a member, shoot some of those emojis out because they're pretty hilarious. There we go. Total liabilities, 34 million in total liabilities. So what would that take to So take 4.1 years to pay off all of its liabilities with profits. Those emojis are hilarious, which is a pretty good situation. If you're between 4 or 5 years, you're in a good place debt-wise. What was I going to look at? Quarterly growth. Even quarterly growth is looking really steady. What are we at for P to E? Why is it NA? What's going on here? Okay, I guess we're gonna have to figure this out ourselves. What's the market cap? Net income 8.1. P to E of 12.8, which is right in the range that we want to see. You know, I kind of like this company. I typically do my investments just in the United States, so that's one thing that, you know, might hold me back a little bit from doing an investment on this. But the price seems right. The 5-year sales trend looks good. Do we have dividends? Let's see if we can just check all the boxes. I don't know if no dividends yet. Do they have just a stockpile of cash? Not really. Let's pull up my stock spreadsheet and break this down a little bit further. Current assets, 58.85 million. Current liabilities, what are we at? Current liabilities, 34.58 million. We have a current ratio of 1.7, which is in the good range. Market cap is good. Price. Let's see. Let's see what their gross margin is. I think it would look pretty good. Let's see. Come on, income statement. Gross income 15.64 million. Total revenue 63.88 million. So we got a gross margin of 24.5%. What do we have like their nearest competitors? Oh, here we go. Perfect. Let's see what their gross margin is. So their gross margin is significantly better. This competitor. But the competitor, let's see, has a much higher P to E, double the P to E. So that kind of makes sense. So gross margin could be better. I mean, it's not horrible. Let's see, there's SGA expense. It's increasing. We want to see that a little bit more flat, but I mean, sales have also doubled in 5 years. SGA has almost tripled. Let's see on a quarterly basis if it's any better. Okay, so it's gone down in the more recent quarter, which is good. Let's see its return on equity. Oh, I need its net income. This will tell us basically the management's ability to earn cash, earn profits. Net income 8.1 million. Shareholder equity is what? Total equity 43.82 million. Return on equity of 18.48%, which is actually pretty good. You know, this is a pretty good buy. You know, if you'd want to do an investment in this, I'd look a little bit more into what's up with the management, maybe listen to some earnings calls, things like that. But overall, I like this one so far. It seems to be in a good price range. I might write this one down to check out a little bit more, potentially make an investment in it. But yeah, I like this one. ZKIN is the ticker. And they're up 15% today. I wonder if there's like some big news or something. Even with the 15% price hike, it's at a good price. Why is this thing spiking so much? There's no news today. not sure why it's spiking so much today. Oh, blockchain, probably because Bitcoin is going up so much today. There's all this news around Bitcoin. ZK International subsidiary X Sigma. Oh, okay. Corporation announced Dwight Howard from the Philadelphia 76ers to join its DeFi protocol. Oh, okay. So, this is interesting. This company is actually a crypto play as well. So they're a steel manufacturer, high performance stainless steel and other, metal products, but they have a subsidiary that's in the blockchain industry. It's a blockchain research and development lab. So this is a very safe, in my opinion, not financial advice, of course, but it's a safe bet is into crypto, buying into a company that already has great profits. Their P/E is low. They have good earnings. The price makes sense. This is really interesting. I mean, this is why the price is jumping up today. Let's see if we can look at any news here for X Sigma. So Dwight Howard is just going to advertise the product. Mission is to promote blockchain adaptation by researching innovative use cases in decentralized finance, logistics, Internet of Things, infrastructure, and supply chain management. It's a stablecoin exchange and a liquidity mining platform backed by the public NASDAQ company, Huh. I like this one. I might make a little investment in this. It's a jump into crypto. It's cheap. I mean, like I said earlier, it's a PD of 14 or something like that. I mean, any public crypto company, like that mining company we saw earlier, had no earnings, effectively an infinite P/E. So yeah. So I guess there's some craziness going on here with Socket Mobile. Up 600% today. What is going on here? Went from $10 to... Wait, that's not 600%. What's the high and low? $10 to $25 today. Producer of data capture products. The company's products are integrated into mobile applications using the mobile point of sale hospitality asset management. SCKT, let's see. $600%. More than 13-year high in morning trading Tuesday to pace all gainers on major U.S. exchanges after the mobile data capture company unveiled its new DuraShield offering, which is an enterprise-grade barcode scanner for Apple's iPhone 12s. Trading volume spiked to more than 75 million shares compared with the full-day average over the past 30 days of about 256,000 shares. The company said employers can now support workers who use the iPhone 12 series of mobile phones. The DuraSled turns your iPhone into a one-handed solution that combines the versatility of the iPhone and the power of an enterprise-grade scanner. So they came out with a sounds like a device that attaches to the iPhone and turns it into a scanner, barcode scanner. Is that why it's 6x'd? Uh-oh. What's going on here? I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if any of you can hear me anymore. My internet is a little funky right now. There we go, I'm back. Let me know if you can see me. My internet just went down for a minute. Okay, cool. $700 up. Let me add this to the... This is wild. Was this hyped on social media or what exactly? Oh, it's suspended right now. Jeez. Let me look into this Reddit post. So 2 million Tuesday, AMC. Well, that didn't happen, I guess. I guess there was some big plans for AMC today, but I guess they didn't happen because AMC's been pretty flat, or literally flat today. So what do we think is going to happen after this Oh, is the suspension lifted? Nope. Yeah, the suspension is lifted. But what's happening? I'm not sure what's going on here, if it's been halted or not, because it doesn't say suspended. Excuse me. There's my sneeze for the day. Gotta have at least one. Oh, there we go. There's some sell-off. Went from 700% up to 600% up. Can I look into Grand West Transportation? Sure. Canadian bus manufacturer, headquartered in Elder Grove, British Columbia. I mean, you gotta love that ticker symbol, just bus. That's great. $24 million in revenue. Oops. Didn't mean to go to charts. Financials. So sales were doing great until 2019. We saw a big drop off. Let's see, quarter to quarter basis. Well, it looks like they're picking up again. So things are recovering a little bit. Still no net income. Designs and engineers mid-size multi-purpose transit vehicles for public and commercial enterprises. This is one of those companies that is just like, I'm just sometimes surprised by the companies that get sent to me. You know, the ones that are hyped, like a pot company, I'm never really surprised, like, or electric car. Like if this was electric buses, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But just a bus company, or is this electric? That would make much more sense. Why? Let's see. Oh, it is. Seldom covered Canadian small cap Grand West Transportation Group. Prices rallied 826. Okay, so it is electric. Okay, that makes much more sense. Investor presentation. Oh, nice. It's brand new. Leading supplier of electric, CNG, gas, and clean diesel buses for public and commercial use. Achieved over 90% market share in core products in Canada. Okay. $50 million backlog, approximately 100 buses before the end of Q2 2021. Strong balance sheet. $300,000 and you can buy one of these buses. Okay, so going back over to the financials, now that we have a better idea as to what's going on here. How close are they to profitability? I mean, seen a big jump in price. $320 million market cap. I mean, compared to other electric vehicle stocks, this one isn't quite as overvalued. $320 million is still kind of hard to justify, but it's not the craziest we've ever seen. This may be a safe electric vehicle bet as far as electric vehicle stocks and bets go. I definitely don't hate it. See. It's suspended again, this SCKT socket mobile. I think socket's already at the moon. I mean, you can't expect much more to the moon than 600% in a single day. Congrats to anyone who was holding this before today, by the way. If you were, let me know, because maybe if you were already holding this company before today, shoot me an email to maxmahershow@gmail.com because I want to chat with you. And we'll do it here live. A quick chat. The ticker for Grand West was just BUS, B-U-S. Great ticker name. Make sure if you like what's going on here as well to give the stream a like. That way we can push this out to more and more people, and I would appreciate it. And subscribe if you wouldn't mind. So we got a suspension here for 5 minutes. What's going to happen after the suspension? I think the price is going to go up. I think there's all these people seeing this thing at 600%, and they're like, let me ride this up another 100% and see what happens. AMC's now down for the day, just a tad. TLRY up 6% today. All right, let's look up this. Applied Genetic Technologies Corporation. Seen a big spike in the last couple days. What's going on here? Whenever you see a huge spike and no big news of earnings or some partnership or contract or something, it just makes me think immediately it's just hype. Revenue per employee is extremely small. That's one of the smallest I've seen. So one thing I would want to find out is what happened between 2016 and 2020. Especially, let's see at the price. And never really any earnings. A lot of loss in the last year. I'm just not sure. Yeah, nothing's really wowing me or giving me that good gut feeling about this one. 30 million in liabilities. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of this one just on face value. You know, maybe if there was some news of some kind of partnership, contract, something that's official, it'd be more justified, but I don't understand the price increase. Oh, we're almost back up to 700%. So I called that one right. That we'd see another little launch up. Probably just going to get suspended again. This is wild what's going on with this company. Well, this looks kind of oh, you know what? Let's watch this for just a second more. Now we're over 700%. I got something interesting to look at in just a second here. Jeez. Again, if you happen to buy into Socket Mobile before today, shoot me an email, maxmahershow@gmail.com, because I want to chat with you live. Shoot me a screenshot as well so I can verify it. All right, we're just floating around 700%. That's still wild. Okay, let's take a look at this. This piques my interest. I'm going to short the whole country of South Africa. Under the current ANC government there's been a general degradation of all aspects of South Africa due to this systemic nepotism. There are math teachers that don't know what square roots are, army officers that can't read, and cops that have never fired a gun. The practice of fictitious employees that take checks but don't work there is widespread enough that the government has drove itself into insolvency already. Estimates are that some 80% of government funds are misused in some way, ranging from government subsidies given to businesses owned by government officials to simply going from missing from accounts. The ANC solved this against advice of wiser people with quantitative easing, which is a fancy term for printing money. And since they could never possibly reverse that printer, they're inflating the South African rand, which is why they've had 2 bouts of inflation near 9% twice in the past 20 years. That is all besides how the largely defunct government doesn't prevent anything on the ground. Roaming bands of pirates, mini affiliates of the Marxist Economic Freedom Fighter Party, will poison guard dogs and torture and murder residents, often for as little as car keys and groceries. Many communities are functionally independent. Let's just see here. I first thought about shorting South Africa about a year ago when I was researching the country. I'm a historian. I've read much on the country for a fund. I found an index tracking South Africa wasn't an accurate representation of the South Africa economy, and buying puts on it was useless. It tracked only the largest cap firms, which are the aforementioned companies diversifying out of South Africa, mostly to other parts of Africa, which is why it's a volatile ETF that overall trades sideways. Buying puts on it wouldn't really capitalize on South Africa going full Rhodesia/Zimbabwe, Zimbabwe having experienced the general breakup of modern institutions and hyperinflation due to similar problems. My new broker allows negative currency positions as long as you post 10% as collateral. Now my native currency is US dollars, where inflation in 2020 was 1.4%, while the South African rand's inflation was 4.12%. That equals a 26.8% return on investment per year from that simple short position. But I'm expecting US dollar inflation to stay between 1 and 2% a year, while the rand stays north of 4%, with inflation spikes inevitable over the next decade. This position also reduces my market beta, much needed for me as I've got hugely levered positions on American ETFs. This isn't a short-term swing trade. I'm waiting for South Africa to implode. That's a big bet. Yeah, you imagine if this is the next GameStop. shorting the economy of South Africa. Wow, that's something. Isn't Palantir down a bunch today? Yeah, it's down 10%. So this person's not feeling so good today. Yeah, this didn't age well. Yeah, I saw a mention of this. So some people are theorizing you can hide shorts by ETFs. There's a lot of people mentioning this at the moment. I just want to have a discussion around it, if there could be a viable thesis. The idea is that hedge funds that shorted GameStop could have shorted ETFs that can contain GameStop while simultaneously cover GameStop. They could do this by buying long positions in all the stocks within the ETFs except GameStop so that they can stay net short GME. This way they could hide the shorts by a middleman. So these are the most shorted ETFs. The top one is S&P Retail, which of course GameStop would be a part of. Huh. Well, that would sure be an interesting coincidence, wouldn't it? Very interesting indeed. Oh, and I guess GameStop is 3.35% of that top fund. Huh. So this person says, yes, it's possible to manufacture a short position in a single security using ETFs, especially when that security makes up a significant fraction of the ETF. For example, if you wanted to hide a short position on WDFC, you could short PSCC 12% and buy other holdings to offset. Oh, so shorting an ETF circumvents the uptick rule for short restrictions. If we remember, the short sale restriction list disallows you from shorting a stock while it's on the way down. So if a stock goes down more than 10% in a day, you can't short it the next day, but I guess this would let you go around it. Well, that's really interesting. Let's go back to this craziness. Another suspension here. Oh, we went down from 700% to 520%. Got someone buying more Tyson. Is it down today? Down just a tiny bit today, 0.37%. Yeah, it's only a matter of time before we see some big upswings with Tyson. Another suspension here. So what's our guess as to what happens after this suspension? Now it's getting a little volatile. Little volatile. I think we're going to see it go up again. People trying to ride it from 520 to 700. Gateway stock. So here is this made me curious. These big jumps in socket. Oh, let me write down tell for later. These big jumps in socket made me curious about what's the biggest one-day gain ever on a stock. So you can see in 2011, this stock went, I haven't read through this article yet, but I believe it went up 25,000% in one day. So the founder of the company, which owns American Idol, has just taken another no-name to new heights. Robert F.X. Sillerman took control of dormant public company Gateway Industries yesterday and sent its stock soaring from about 2 cents a share to nearly $3 after he said the company would be the launching pad for a new venture. That's a 25,000% gain. The deal for Gateway, whose sole employee is CEO Jack Howard, gives Sellerman and other investors a 98% stake in the company they bought for 120 million shares at 3 cents each for a total of 3.6 million. The newly constituted company will be called Function X, but Sillerman is still being coy about what the next move will be. Gateway's shares closed yesterday at $1.89 after giving back a third of their gains in the afternoon. Gateway has no revenue last year and a total of $5 on hand. Jeez. So what is their stock now? Function X or Gateway? I don't even know what it's called right now. Is it even a company anymore? FCT, FNCX. FNCX. I'm not sure if this is still a company. I don't know. 25,000% gain in one day. Oh, we're back open here. And we're on the way up. No, I don't think it was Gateway Computers. No, I think it was a different Gateway. Oh, it looks like it might be, could get suspended again for whatever that is, the 10th time. Is it suspended? Is it suspended? No. Jeez. It's all over the place. All right, let's look up this TEL. TLRY is a natural gas company headquartered in Houston, Texas. $28 million in revenue. TEL up 6.8%. Let's see. Seen a big old spike in the last 6 months. Market cap of 1.25 billion. So this is this like clean energy? Let me see. Do we have a website? No. Come on. The first liquefied natural gas exports from the United States, lower 48. Corporate presentation. We love the corporate presentation. All right, well, let's look at the finances. Because I feel like their sales just don't quite line up with what's going on here in the price. $28 million in revenue and $1.2 billion in market cap. I mean, revenue's increasing. That's obviously good to see. Big increase in the last quarter. This price just doesn't seem justified to me. It seems kind of in the stratosphere. However, we've been up here before for some reason. Not sure why, because sales were already low. I'm not getting any wow factor from this one. Just about 600% up. Let's see. TLRY's up 7%. Be nice if I could, if we could get this up over 40 bucks. I think I bought it at 39. CTRM is down a little bit today. I know a lot of people were holding that. I sold my Sugar Made stock. Doubled it or something. This one did really well for me in about a day. Or did I held it either for 1 or 2 days, but went up about 120% in that time. Oh, TLRY's quarterly report coming out tomorrow. Okay. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for today on our live stream. I'll be doing more streams later on this week, so make sure you both like this stream and subscribe so you're notified. Turn on the notification bell. Also become a member if you want of the channel. You'll get some private live stream events in the future, emojis, things like that, stickers and stuff that you can use. So thanks for tuning in today. I'll be back again later on this week. See you later.